Today we're going to be looking at a way of discipling people one-on-one that I think will be very interesting to many of our people. We do have materials available to use in this kind of mentoring relationship with somebody, but really the material is not the biggest deal. I think you'll see as we're doing this interview with Russ Snyder and a couple fellows that he is mentoring through one-on-one discipleship. I hope you enjoy it. So guys, tell me what happens when you are one-on-one on a group. What kind of things do you talk about? What kind of things do you discuss? How does that work out? Do you come with an agenda? How's that work?
We always talk about kind of three things, family, marriage, and, our faith. How are we doing? How am I doing on a daily, week-to-week basis?
I think I would just add that, it's also, it's also about work and the relationships there. Maybe the frustrations of work have been brought to me, and Russ has helped me work through on how to respond before I responded.
Gotcha.
And the Bible opens up there, and it's good.
It's a friendship, and it's a conversation, but it's a place where I walk away learning something, every week that we get together, or thinking about something differently.
For me, it's a recentering. The Bible describes us as sheep and we all wander. I'd say it's a weekly, not accountability, but I know the question, how's your spiritual life?
Yeah.
Is going to come up.
Generally, it's let's talk, let's see where you are. Something will come up that I hear that may be struggling with, and then we start talking about that. Work, family, whatever it is. And we really use the Bible as a handbook for that particular thing. What's the Bible say about our work? And what's it say about parenting and marriage and all those other things? And then we look back at what he has done in the past, and that kind of helps us understand that.
So we do a lot of discipleship through our small groups, our Sunday school classes. Tell me, what are some of the advantages of doing discipleship one-on-one like this?
You get a small group together. Everyone's in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
And one-on-one, it's focused on his issue or his issues or my issues, so we can spend the time talking about that.
It's not that you can't go deep in a big group, but I think there has to be a large level of comfort with the people in the group before you're willing to open up. I mean, as soon as I get with Russ, it's easy because we've been meeting for weeks, that time has gone on, and we're able to go deeper and deeper because it's me and him.
And I think the biggest difference is that we can get deep into what the real issue is. The group is great for learning about the Bible and conversation, but this is great for really getting to deep issues that I think a lot of us face. We just don't have an outlet to communicate them.
How far along in my Christian life do I need to be before I start one-on-one discipling somebody else?
Not very far, because it's a learning together.
Mm-hmm.
Two guys who are pretty new at this can sit down and start. You don't have to be, like I said, half page ahead. You don't have to be a deep, mature Christian to do it. I did it when I didn't know very much.
Personally, I wrestled with, guilt of sin for my whole life. And it took us the better part of 5 years of meeting over coffee to work out, that topic. Right. And it wasn't necessarily every Friday, but it was over a long period of time, just, really being able to flush out, what that problem was, what drove it, what God's viewpoint of me was, and how God saw me. Yeah. And it took, that was the power of one-on-one was, Russ was able to share some things that happened in his life, some things that really, kind of brought that together.
My wife wanted me to tell you guys that for the first 6 months that I met with Russ, I apologized every day after meeting with Russ.
To your wife, right?
Yes, to my wife, yes. So, it's shaped my family. My oldest son had a lot of anger issues. There was one moment where he had had enough of us, and he's like, "Mom, I'm out." And he started walking down the road, and my wife went. She grabbed him. The police were called on us because someone thought we were stealing, abducting some child, and that was a real low. And we felt like, what is going on? And so I told Russ about that, and we worked through it. And my son and his demeanor has totally changed. So the family is a huge component.
It was probably 10, 12, 13 years ago, somewhere in that range, that I was sitting like at church, and Russ got up on stage and talked about discipleship. And I was sitting in my seat, and I'm like, that's what I need. I mean, that is like the one thing that I needed. I knew I needed to grow my faith. And I waited probably 2 weeks after that, because I was like, oh, how do I approach it? What do I do? So finally I just picked up the phone, or after church, I think I grabbed him and said, hey, I need to meet. And we've been meeting for a long, long, long time. But it's just that first step is the hardest part. And then going in with the expectation that there is no expectation. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody and ask someone, because the benefit to them is as great as the benefit is to you.
Yeah. If you'd like more information, please contact us about discipleship one-on-one.